Hi guys, if you're done dabbling on Amazon and done with the beginner business models like retail arbitrage and wholesale and dealing with all the problems that come with it, then this is the perfect video for you, because I'm going to explain to you a couple of easy steps that you can take to start your Amazon FBA business from scratch, and it will help you resolve all of these issues. So make sure you watch the video till the end to get the full value. Remember to like, follow and subscribe this channel to learn more actionable steps on Amazon FBA and building your private label with real sellers. And if you have just discovered this channel and video, you're new here, I am Farah. I run my private label fashion business on Amazon for the past 15 years as a seller and vendor. And I want to help you build your dream Amazon business on your terms. I have a brand new training about Amazon FBA and building your private label, exactly using my method of selling on Amazon. It's linked in the description below. Make sure you guys check it out. It details my method and I hope you enjoy it. It's linked in the description below. With that out of the way, let's get into today's video and talk about the couple of steps you can take to deal with the issues of retail arbitrage and wholesale and actually move into a serious Amazon business model, which is private label, and it will resolve all of those frustrations that you face in a couple of easy steps. So as I was saying, private label is a solution to all of the problems that you're facing, like chasing stock and talking to suppliers and wholesalers to actually let you sell their brands or the brands they carry. And the ugly truth is a lot of wholesalers don't want to deal with Amazon sellers because they're selling themselves as well on the platform. So it just creates this frustration in the business where you don't have a lot of control. And if you want to have control, the way to go is private label. And that's why it's the biggest and most profitable business model on Amazon. And it is the most popular one and lasting one. And so I started my private label about 15 years ago, and I was going through these issues myself. And I just decided that, these products that I'm chasing, why don't I make my version of them with my brand, and I will have a lot more control over these issues, like how much quantity I want to sell, what kind of patterns I want to sell. And if I want to create my own versions of these products, then I want that creative freedom to be able to do that under my brand and label. So these are the issues that you can resolve with private label. So I just wanted to sort of talk about this before we go to step one, which is always start with the product. Okay, test a product that you want to actually private label in a smaller quantity, sell a batch of it, right? And this is what I talk about in my training too in detail. But what I mean by this is, whenever you're testing out a product idea, never order a large quantity of it, because you don't know, even though you've done the research on the software and you know the numbers, they are still estimates and they are some other sellers' performance to give you indication of what's happening in the market. But when you actually start selling, there will be issues that you will discover that weren't discoverable just through product research software. Like what's your ACOS going to be, or what's the average price going to be to purchase that product, and what kind of reviews you're getting, and things like this. Are you actually able to add something different to that product and bring a differentiated product to the market, or is it not possible to add value to that product and it's saturated? Things like this. Always test a product idea. Maybe you already have a product idea that you have tested doing retail arbitrage and wholesale, and you can build on that product idea in a private label model. But still, always the point to remember is never order a large quantity on the first batch of your private label product idea. It's not good to chase the cheap, to get the lowest cost price straight off the bat. You should be willing to pay a little bit more just so you can test the market, get some, real life sales data before you commit long term. So that's one of the first steps I would advise. Selling on Amazon for 15 years. Don't, bet all your savings on your first product. And through that experience, if you discover that product wasn't that of a great idea and you actually don't want to pursue it any further, you can just, recoup what you can in terms of, your investment, clear it out or sell it at, cost price, recover what you can, and then just move on to the next product idea and not sit on that loss, okay? Because these kinds of ups and downs are part of the business, and it takes a bit of trial and error to arrive at a point where you find the perfect mix. So that's why testing and a product idea in batches, especially small batches, is a really good idea to mitigate that risk of choosing the wrong product idea, if you know what I mean. If this is resonating with you, hit that like button and let me know in the comments below what product idea you're trying or researching right now, and if there is anything that's holding you back, and maybe I can help you get past that roadblock. Step 2 is run controlled Amazon PPC campaigns to gain traction on your product. So when you're launching, just relying on giving away product for reviews, it can be part of the strategy, but it's not as effective as it used to be. I think PPC is a bit more assured way to actually get that exposure. You can sign up your product to Amazon Vine reviews program and get some traction going from there as well. But PPC is something that you should consider investing in, and actually when you're doing your profit calculations, you should actually consider that as part of the cost in the equation that you're building. That how much money do I want to make? Do I actually want to leave about 20% in there just to pay for the PPC cost, and price your product accordingly? And finding out your TACOs, your ACOs while selling your first batch of product is actually the real feedback that you need from testing that first batch of product by selling it on Amazon. Because even though ad cost changes from month to month, but if you're able to sell in the right season for that given product, you would get a pretty good idea. Is it your total ACOS very high? And that means it's going to be it's a very competitive market, and you have chosen a saturated niche, and maybe it's not the right product for you at this stage of the business. Or you're going to discover that if it's low TACOs, you're going to be able to actually manage it better, because we want to minimize the spend as much as possible in terms of PPC. We wanted to keep it under 15% total ACOS. So I would definitely recommend learning about this, collecting data, and running controlled Amazon PPC campaigns to help launch your product and gathering that market feedback. Step 3 is actually building on step 2, which is knowing your numbers, your performance, sales performance, and your profits. Knowing all this data is so important, because if you don't know what you're making, per order or per unit of the product, it's going to be difficult for you to actually decide, like, does it make sense for me or not? Because remember, there's organic sales and there is paid sales. So paid sales are what come through PPC, but your total sales are never equal to paid sales. It's usually more. And why is it usually more? Because you have some organic sales too that you didn't pay for. So knowing those numbers and knowing that how they impact your bottom line, are you actually making some money? And it also helps you not obsess too much about ACOS, and actually focus a bit more on the final number, which should be like what you're making per unit or per order overall in your business, and what's your average order value and things like this, what you're making in a month by moving X number of product or units from your FBA business. That's what's going to help you build and scale the business, knowing your numbers and your data. And this is what I can really help you with, because I have mastered these systems. I've got my own setups. So hopefully you check out that training and you would learn about it. Step 4 is building a flywheel of products around your winning product idea, and that's how you're going to build the brand, the private label, which becomes an Amazon brand, and take your business and sustain it for years to come. And how do you discover that winning product idea? That's, again, it goes back to step 1, that you should be building a flywheel of products that you're testing and not investing too much or a lot of money or tens of thousands of pounds in just one product and getting the cheapest cost price possible. You actually want to test a couple of different batches of products which are suitable for FBA, which are lightweight, and see which one sticks, which is the winning product, and then try to learn more about that niche and see that is that product, are you able to build different versions of it? For example, in my business, the product that I have talked about before publicly as well is, one of the satchel bags. Now, that product, when I decided that that was my winning product, I only had it in one popular pattern, which was actually available with other sellers too. So for me to really differentiate and own that product niche, that satchel bags, I actually created 7 to 8 different patterns, which were actually patented by me. And I owned those listings and patent designs. And that's how I really scaled my brand around that winning product idea. And that's what you need to do once you decide from your test batch of products that which one is really gonna be the one. So I hope it gives you the overall idea of the main 5 steps that you need to take to really build your private label on Amazon. And I talk about those steps in detail in my training, which is linked in the description below. So make sure you guys do go check it out. And if you want to learn more about how I run my business and some of the tips and tricks about building your private label on Amazon, make sure you guys check out this video. I hope I'm able to answer some of your questions that you have been searching for online and getting some real info about Amazon business from real sellers. That's all from me today. I will see you guys next time. Bye.